What's up YouTube, Tristan here with Team Redneck Yu-Gi-Oh! And I'm going to give you my YCS Minneapolis report and my Infernoid deck profile. So at the YCS, Team Redneck Yu-Gi-Oh! We did pretty decent overall. I went 4-3, David went 3-3-1, Hunter went 3-3, I believe Logan went 4-4. And then we had a couple other friends that were there as well. I don't remember the records. But yeah, so I played Blue Eyes in the main event. I can't show you the deck profile right now because I did sell most of the deck, so I actually can't even show you the deck profile. But yeah, so I went through my 7 rounds. Round 1, I lost to Satellers 2-1. He was a really good player, and then he had Game 1 I beat him, Game 2 he beat me, and then Game 3 he just had more advantage than me. Round 2 I lost to Kaiju Shadal Trains, so that was just kind of embarrassing for me because I just wasn't really prepared for that deck. Round 3 I had a bye, so I was pretty trash clearly. Round 4 I played a really bad Performer Pal player. I 2-0'd him. He would be making moves. I'm like, all right, he's gonna do this, and then he just did the complete opposite, and so that was his downfall. Round 5 and round 6, I played the mirror both times. Round 5, I believe round 5, the Blue Eyes player was really good, and it was back and forth. Soul Charge is so broke. Game 1 I beat him. I did a bunch of plays and I went for Soul Charge to pretty much have an Infinity, Spirit, Infinity, Crystal Wing, Spirit, and Galaxy Harbinger, whatever his name is. That play, he just immediately scooped when I played Soul Charge. So I had no idea what he was playing, and then, so then went to Game 3 and I Soul Charged again, and he couldn't do anything. Round 6, I 2-0'd the guy and I just Soul Charged both games. Like, that card in Blue Eyes is so unbelievably broke. And then, so I was 4-2, and then going to round 7, I was feeling pretty confident, and then I ran into Minerva Turbo, and I got 2-0'd by that, and yeah, Minerva's really broke. When that card becomes released to the general public, Lightsworn's going to be tier 1 again. So yeah. And then in the side events, I played Infernoids. It was not this build. This build is different. This is a better build for the most part. But yeah, so I entered a 16-man regional. Went 1-1 in that. I beat Water 2-1, and then I lost to Magispectors. No, it was Metalfoe. Magispector Metalfoe, I believe. And then I also went into a Winamat, and I lost to Heroes 2-1. That was a crazy match. But yeah, so I'll get right into it. But yeah, this is the cool YCS token I got, and we'll get going with the deck profile. The only comment I'll make is that the side deck isn't perfect because a lot of my side cards are in my ABC deck that I'll be profiling later this week. So we have 3 Inferno Decatrons. This is the best card of the deck. Well, for the most part, it's the best card of the deck. It gets you any out. Like, they summon Jowgen, you just normal summon, effect, send Harmonic, and bam, they can't do nothing. So 3 of him. 1 Infernoid Pure Mice. I might think about bumping this up to 2 actually, just because Magispectors is really popular, as well as ABC plays a lot of back row, and so with him, you have to pretty much negate the summon, or else you are going to lose the back row because you can't respond. So he's really good. And then I do run 1 Antra. I might cut the Antra for Pure Mice, but the thing that I like about him is that he can make Decatron level 3, so that's how you get into your rank 3 plays or whatever else. So I don't know. He's there for right now, and I like him, but we'll see how that goes. You run 3 Harmonic, one of the best little guys, just be able to pop a monster. He's a level 3, so you can send him with Decatron to go into your rank 4 and level 8 synchro plays. And then your 3 Patrulia, back row, just in general, is really good, and also can pop your opponent's scales. It's just, he's an amazing card. Really glad they reprinted him as a super. For the big guys, I run 3 Systemus. He's so good. Just being able to do attack and then banish a card without targeting is really, really, really strong. especially against Blue Eyes. It's just ridiculous. And then 2 Atondel. So you don't want to run 3 just because not a lot of monsters end up going to the graveyard. Like if you play any Pendulum matchup, he is really trash. And then like against Blue Eyes, he's not big enough. When Monarchs were around, he wasn't big enough. So I think 2 is just fine. So that's it for the medium guys. And then for the big guys, I run 2 Devyati and 2 Anunku. So I played the Void Imagination build, and it's just so broke. Like, I think Devyati is probably the best one out of the 2, just because it's a heavy storm and then it negates monster effects. But Anunku definitely can put in a lot of work, so they're both equally good. And then I do run the Lightsworn engine, so I run just the 3 Raidens. I don't side the Lila, I just think, I might side the Lila in future builds, but for right now, 3 Raiden's pretty good. And then usually when I side out 1 charge and 1 Raiden, so it's pretty good. And then I do run 2 Max C's. So the one thing I want to say about this deck is you always want to go second. If you go first, you're most likely going to lose because this deck doesn't have a turn 1 play, where you want to go turn 2 because you want to have Void Imagination to just blow out your opponent. So Maxi is really important for that, because if you do go second, you don't want them to have so much advantage that you can't get over it. So the Maxi is really good in this deck. So that's it for the monsters. For the spells, we play 2 Charge of Light Brigade, because milling 3 and searching is really freaking good. And yeah, you really need your Raidens to start your plays most of the time. 2 Instant Fusion, I play Norden in the extra deck, and it's really good. And yeah, Norden in general. And I do have a combo that I'll show you later, so I'll leave one of those out. 1 Burial from a Different Dimension, because you banish a lot. And then now for the Void cards. So I play 2 Void Vanishment, 2 Void Seer, 3 Void Imagination, and 3 Into the Void. So a really stupid play is that Void Vanishment searches into the Void. So pretty much you have a searchable upstart, which is really, really good. And like you can discard your big guy, go into this, and then draw another card. So really you don't lose any advantage whatsoever. But yeah, so I do run the 3 Void Imagination because like I said, you want to go first or second in this deck. So you need to see this turn 1. And for people who don't know what this does, when your opponent controls an extra deck monster, you can send this card to the grave and then send 6 Infernoids from your deck to the grave to fusion summon a monster. And then you can also use monsters on your field or in your hand. So that's how you summon Infernoid Tiara, which I'll get to later. But yeah, so that card is really broke. And then also its secondary effect. While this card's on the field, all Infernoid monsters with a base level of 2 or higher automatically become level 1. So that's how you can summon the really, really big unbreakable boards. So a really good play going first is just having the Void Imagination, Void Vanishment, and then a Instant Fusion and a Raiden, and then whatever other card in your hand, you can just completely go off, because you can summon the Raiden, mill 2, activate Imagination, send all your stuff to the grave, summon your Tiara, send more stuff, and then what you send from the extra deck, you send 1, because Tiara's effect when it's summoned using at least 6 materials, you send 3 cards from either player's extra deck and then 3 cards from the top of each deck. So you send 1 Tiara, 1 Formula Synchron, and an Omega. And so then what you do is, so you send the Formula Synchron, you send the Formula Synchron, and then what you do is you play Instant Fusion. So then you bring out Norden, summon the Formula Synchron, and then you go into the Stardust Charge Warrior. So then it's the easy +1. And then you do a Void Imagination, or Void Vanishment, discard a card to search another Imagination, and then you can start going into more of your other guys. So it's really, really good. It's a pretty gimmicky play in general, but like it's pretty fun. This isn't like the most competitive deck right now, so it's alright. So for the extra deck, I do play 1 Norden for that 1 play. And then I play 2 Tiara. I see a lot of builds that only run 1, and that's probably the correct thing to do, but when you send the 3 with Tiara, it's nice sending another Tiara because that is an Infernoid card that you can banish for cost for the other monsters. So I definitely suggest running 2, but it's really up to your own opinion. 1 Leviair, because you can go into really stupid plays if you banish a Decatron, use its effect to summon the Decatron, and you can keep going. 1 Dante, I don't really go into this much, but it is good. And then if you do side the Ghost Reaper, you're just main decking your target already. 1 Castell, because you can go into break 4s, and it's really good. And 1 Red Eyes Flare Metal. I love going to, like, just attacking a bunch, and then going to this, and then your opponent can't do anything because they'll just burn themselves to death. For Synchros, I run 1 Formula Synchron, 1 Chambara. This is here if I do Instant Fusion, summon Norden, and then my only target's Decatron, so then I do have something to synchro into. So that's why this is here, and then it can get really big really quick because it can attack twice and it gains 200 attack every time it attacks, so it's really good. 1 Stardust Charge Warrior because drawing is really good. 1 Scrap Archfiend because it's a vanilla, and then this is how I can get into this really easily. 1 Scarlet Red Dragon Archfiend. This is debatable. I can cut it, but it does come up where I can just blow up a bunch of special summon monsters and then attack for 3,000, so that's pretty good. 2 Omega, you can go double Omega in this deck pretty easily for the most part, and then recycling cards is really good. And then 1 Trishula. I've yet to go into this, but it's there just in case. Alright, and then up next we have the side deck. So just another note, this side deck is not complete. A lot of my cards are in my ABC deck currently. So yeah. I have the 2 Dark Holes because if they do set up a really big board and you didn't have Max C, you want to have something to kind of out it. 2 Galaxy Cyclone because you mill a lot in this deck, and let's say you go first, you can side these like against like Pendulum, and then on your turn again you can just pop their scales, so it's pretty decent. 3 Twin Twister because you don't like back row, so if I was gonna go second, game 2 and 3, you know, I want to side these in just in case. 1 Vanity's Emptiness because it's Vanity Emptiness. 2 Pendulum Holes because I don't have my anti-spells right now, but yeah, so it negates a Pendulum Summon and puts it all back in the deck, so it's actually kind of good like mid to late game. 2 Decrees because I don't like traps against this deck, and 3 of the MVP against any deck that OTKs. So if you don't know what this does, you could, while it's on the field, you could pay 1,000 life points to negate an attack, and then while it's in the graveyard, you can banish it, and your opponent can't attack you directly this turn. So like with Infernoids, a lot of the time you use their effects to tribute themselves to negate stuff, but then you have an open field. So this card really, it doesn't hurt you now to just leave your field open, so you can just negate whatever. You can DD Crow your opponent all you want, and you don't have to worry. So this card, it was definitely the MVP when I played this deck. So yeah, so that's my Infernoid deck profile plus YCS Minneapolis review. I thought it was a great event. I'm definitely going to try and go to more events now. But yeah, so stay tuned for more videos this week. We should be getting an ABC deck profile in, and then the structure deck openings. So yeah, stay tuned. If you like this video, please leave a like, comment, and subscribe.